Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the annual Town Council meeting, 13th of May 2026. So we'll see if there's anyone online, but if not, we'll get started anyway. Fire exits are over there and out there, and I should say I'm Paul Gardner. The first business is election of the chairman of the council for this coming year, 2026-27. I believe we're expecting a leadership challenge, maybe from the Wellbeing Secretary. I don't know. 86. Yeah. Or maybe from a member of the public. I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. But so the first thing is to elect a chairman. So would anyone like to make a proposal? Mike.
Propose Paul Gardner.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
I'll propose Paul Gardner.
So we need a seconder. So Alan, all right. So is anyone
I'll
else?
second it.
Okay. Thanks, Alan. Yeah. Are there any other proposals? Okay. All right. So we need to vote. So all those in favour? I shall not vote on that one. Thank you very much, everybody. So the second item, well, thanks again for your vote of confidence. We have got a lot to do this year coming up, so it will be a great, interesting year. So we look forward to it. I think I need to sign the documentations. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Steve. I mean, short statement. We obviously had the residents' meeting last week, and that was very successful. I say we have got a lot on. We've got devolution. We've got a lot of good things happening in Portishead. On Friday, we have the official opening of the banking hub. If you're around on the high street, I know a few of us has been in there. And we'll see what the railway and loads of things going on. And I think those are quite well showcased last week. So I won't repeat what we already went through last time. So a vote of thanks to the retiring chairman. So thank you. Yeah, that's a good one. Right. And other things I just wanted to mention, there was the obviously people would see that the Portishead Town Football Club, basically their men's team had a highly successful season. They got 95 points, a 73 plus 73 goal difference, and were relegated due to the Football Association. I have, as you know, I'm also the rep for the football club and quite close to what they do. I think they've been treated pretty shabbily by the Football Association, and given different information at different time in the year, and then basically told they're relegated because they haven't improved the ground. Although, so the club is, I know, will come back stronger, and you may have also seen they've got a new chairman and a new committee, and they will be completing the building works, which they'd already planned to do anyway. And I'll be meeting the new chairman next week, actually, so we'll see. But it is the largest community organisation in Portishead with 1,000 members or 1,000 plus members, and obviously we are the landlord for all of the fields, so we have a special interest in their success. So I'm sure we will be supporting them in whatever they do. I'm sure, as I say, they'll come back stronger. Maybe they get 100 points next year, so we'll see. I thought I'd mention that. We then move on to election of vice chair. Again, we need to have a proposal. Would someone like to propose? I'll propose Mike Johnston, and Tim seconded it. All those in favour of Mike? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. You've got to sign the piece of paper, Mike.
Details.
It's my pen gone.
Oh, there it is. My apologies. Thank you, Nick.
Do you want to say a few words?
Well, thank you very much, everyone. And it's been a pleasure. And I'm sure that, as Paul says and alludes to, next year is going to be quite busy. And so I hope that I'll be able to assist along with the rest of you. And I think one of the things that, despite the shenanigans going on up in Westminster, it's so good that we are a unified council here. I mean, yes, we have our differences of opinion and from time to time, and it's inevitable. But I think it's just great that, you know, this town is run by a unified, strong council. And I'm very pleased to be representing such in the position which you have re-elected me to. So thank you again.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Look forward to it. Cool. Do we have any, so is there anyone who's got any interests or requests for dispensations for tonight? Has anyone at all? No? Okay, so that's a nil return. As always, if you think of one later, please raise your hand. We have apologies from Councillor Roger Whitfield. He can't make it tonight. I think that's it, Steve, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Right, we've been in the annual council meeting. There's a lot of governance things that we need to go through. The first one is we have the terms of reference for our standing committees, which are planning, advisory and placemaking. So as we know, we are not the planning decision maker. That's North Somerset Council, which is the local planning authority. We have the Community Matters and Town Assets Committee and the Staffing and Finance Committee. The terms of reference haven't changed there. It's just there so that we make sure that we've kind of ratified them and we don't want to change them. We also have changed them in the past. So we need to approve them. So, but I think David, saw you had a few comments. Go on.
Yeah, sorry, Paul. I just reread the Staff and Finance Committee terms of reference, and I think there are a couple of changes we need to make in relation to some of our policies. In our gift and hospitality policy, we say that Staff and Finance will annually review the gift and hospitality register. So we need to add that to the terms of reference to Staff and Finance. Also, in our grievance policy, we say that Staff and Finance will annually review the type and number of staff grievances. So I think we need to add that to the terms of references. And at the end of the terms of references, it says to assist and provide advice to the Community Matters Committee, formerly Recreation and Works, with the review and approval of grants, which I don't think happens these days. I think there's a standalone grants committee, so I think we could take that off the remit.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for going through that. Yeah. I think they're all very sensible amendments. So are we happy to review and approve? We're happy to approve them with those three amendments to the Staff and Finance Committee. Any other points? No. Who'd like to propose that? Bob was first, and then John can second it. Okay. So all in favour of accepting the policies? Okay. And thanks again, David, for tightening them up. Okay, then we need to appoint members to committees and advisory groups and appoint the chairman and vice chairman of the committees and the planning group. So I think, Steve, we have got a going in list. So I will go through them. So the proposal I have here is planning advisory and placemaking is going to be chaired by Mike Johnston with Mariam as the vice chair and members Roger, Martin, Tim and David. We're okay with that? Yeah, so that one's agreed. We'll come and just do the vote at the end. Sorry. Community Matters and Town Assets. So the proposal is that the chair will be Mike Rees, the vice chair will be Emma, and it will consist of Mariam, Bob, Janet, Martin and Jenny. Everyone okay with that? Okay, excellent. Staffing and Finance, that will be chaired. The proposal is that John will be the chair with David as the vice chair, and the members will be Mike Rees, Jenny, Mike Johnston and Paul Gardner. Okay. Right. I think if we're all agreed with that, should we just have a proposer for that one? David, and seconded by Martin. All those in favour of that? Okay, so thank you. Right, then we move on to the working parties. So as David alluded to, we have the grants working party, which does a sterling job, obviously, in assessing community grants. And the proposal is it's chaired by David, with the members being John, Mike Johnston, and Emma. Okay. All right. Okay with that one. The devolution implementation group. The chair proposed is Mike Rees and consists of myself, Roger, John Davey, Mike Johnson, David, Jenny, and Mariam. Okay. All happy with that? The climate working party is chaired by David and consists of members Jenny, Mike Johnston, and myself. Okay. So the Lake Grounds Working Group, there used to be a Lake Grounds Committee. I think what the proposal is, we'll have a working group because obviously with the take on of the Lake Grounds, there's going to be a lot of work to do. The Lake Grounds Committee had a bit of a different, obviously it had members of the public as well, and it was run by North Somerset, so it was a different beast. So I think we're going to call it the Lake Grounds Working Group for the moment. Obviously, we're already looking at maybe setting up a friends group. I think that the working group is to basically, once we get the Lake Grounds, is to put the structure around how we're going to govern it moving forward, and that's what the purpose of the group is. And because clearly there's lots of projects that could come out or need to come out from that working group. I don't know. We haven't got a chair for this. This is new, so I'm kind of looking at David and Tim. It's your ward, isn't it? So I don't know whether one of you happy to chair it, Tim? So Tim will chair it. Okay. Thanks, Tim. And then the members I've got written down here are so David, Mike Johnston, Janet, Martin, Mike Rees, and myself. Okay. Bob, do you want to be added to it? Yeah, and Bob. Okay. All right. Obviously, there's going to be lots going on, so doesn't mean other people are going to be excluded, and we will see. But I think the main purpose of this group is just to get that kind of structure and make sure we're going in the right direction. Yeah. Okay. All right. Lovely. So we've got a couple of working parties to be disbanded. One is the Halls project, because the Halls project's finished. Thanks, John, Mike. Thanks for all the work you've done on that. Appreciate it. And we've got the parish engagement working party, which is going on anyway via various means constantly. So, well, that's what we're here for, isn't it? So that's good. So those are the yeah, those are the ones. So we've done number 11 then. So do you want us to vote on that, Steve, or you're happy with that's all agreed? Yeah. Yeah.
Be the staffing review group on there, or is that not a working?
Don't know. We can add it on there. Staffing review group consists of you're chairing it, and it consists of you, me, and Jenny. Yeah. So maybe we just add that on there. Okay. I think it is a formal group. So, okay. So then we move on to so we basically represent the town in various guises. We have this is item number 12 now we're on to. First one is tourism and heritage, which I believe is Janet, Mike Johnston, and Martin Dowling. All happy with that? Okay.
Hello, Paul. Yeah, can I obviously this year I've had a massive amount of projects and I've got more projects to do. I'm now part of many groups in Portishead, which is why I've stepped back a little bit. But I would like to offer my support with the tourism in the point of promoting and coming up with some ideas.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, we'll add you to the group. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, so we'll add Bob Cartwright to that one there. Wellbeing leads are Janet, Mariam, Jenny, and Emma. All happy with that? We have a Brackenwood representative, which is Roger. So we'll keep with that. I think that's all of the internal kind of representations. All right. You okay with that one, Steve? Yeah, okay. So then we have representation to outside bodies. So Citizens Advice North Somerset. So this again, these are governance roles to basically just to manage the SLA at the overall level with Citizens Advice. It's not the day-to-day kind of operational stuff. It's just to make sure that overall we're getting the service we're paying for, and overall that and we're providing what CANs need to deliver the service, basically. So that's what that is. So proposal is that's Mike, Reese, and myself will represent us with the CANs. The allotments, Jenny and Mariam. Okay. Nailsea District Community Transport is Mariam and Bob Cartwright. Okay. Parish Wharf Winter Boat Storage. You must tell us all about that down the pub one day, Alan. But yeah. So I know it's a long story, but that's Alan. We've got the North Somerset Water Safety and Coastal Advisory Group, David. Okay. Fair Trade Portishead is Mariam. Single Use Plastic is Mariam. The Youth and Community Centre reps are Emma and John. Our 7net business representatives are Bob Cartwright and Mike Johnston. Okay. And the Parish Council's Airport Association. Sorry, Mike, do you want to say? Yeah.
Just to say that on item 5, the North Somerset Water Safety and Coastal Advisory Group, it does say 2 representatives. I was the second of those. They meet twice a year, generally in February and October. I wasn't able to go in the February meeting and I can't make the October meeting, so I suggested, and David and I agreed, that really representing this group with just one representative was fine, and maybe even just having it as one meeting a year between us. Well, for David to attend, because the RNLI do send a representative down as well, along with perhaps sometimes someone else from the marina.
Boat folk are on the committee, but they haven't seen them attend. Also, Town Council is rather unusual in that neither Clevedon nor Western send councillors along, but it's quite, it's a useful meeting to go to. Perhaps once a year is enough.
And it's certainly useful having the minutes, and then you can read through what's going on within the region.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks for letting us know what that is. The Airport Association, I think we just got to, obviously there's a lot going on there as well, and Mariam and Martin. The football club is myself, and the North Somerset Cycle Forum has to be Mike Johnston. Okay. Yeah.
Don't know if it's on. Is it? Just a couple of queries. I represent Town Council at the Rotary Business Network. Does that need to be noted? And also, what about Together Portishead? Do we have formal representation through Roger on that body?
Well, we should do, because we are actually members of both of those bodies, so we should have an official representative. So yes, if we could add Mike to be it's the Rotary Business Network, and Roger is Together Portishead representatives. So effectively, we have 2 business chambers, if we put it like that. So okay, yeah, good point. Yeah, Dave.
Just a general question, really. I just wondered whether, I guess this is for Steve as much as anyone, is it normal practice for town councils to have a representative on the governing body of the local secondary schools or any of the schools, or is that, just seems that as a town council we ought to somehow foster stronger relationships with the local secondary schools? That's the next generation of locals. It's just a random thought.
Mike. Yeah.
Certainly used to be. In my last council days, yes, I was representative for Gordano and one of the primary schools, and ditto my wife was a representative.
Yeah, maybe we should make a note of that. And
yeah.
Do you want to come to the microphone? Sorry, Sue.
You're right.
All of the schools are part of a MAT, so I don't think that the that the council is part of that, as it used to be
Right.
many years ago.
What's the MAT or MAT?
Multi Academy Trust. Multi Academy Trust. MAT.
Yeah. No. I mean, it doesn't preempt stop us having a relationship with Gordana School, which would probably be a good idea. So if we just make a note of that. I know we have tried in the past, but we should probably try harder, I think, probably. So, yeah. Okay. Right, we're moving on. So we move on to subscriptions to other bodies. So we obviously pay subscriptions to various organisations. So, for example, Avon Wildlife Trust, we have a subscription there. We have a subscription with NALC and ALCA, which provides obviously legal and other advice primarily to our clerks, but obviously can be quite useful advice and guidance at times. The Open Spaces Society, I think people probably know what that is. SLCC, Southwest Councils we use, particularly in the sort of HR recruitment side of things. CPRE is a campaign for rural England. The Information Commissioner's Office, I don't want to get on the wrong side of those guys. Parish Councils Airport Association, which we're members of obvious reasons as well. 7net, which actually, I guess there's a lot going on, and with the railway and in the industry and business, I guess there could be more. There's a closer link to the docks, isn't there? So that's something to keep an eye on. So those are the ones we have. Has anyone got any questions or? Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Can I just point out that the 7net, I think theoretically it's myself and Bob who are the reps, but anyone can go.
Yeah.
So if the business breakfasts at 7 a.m. over in Avonmouth and Sevenside appeal to people, then do feel free to let us know and we can arrange for other representatives to come along.
Mike, you could.
Well, only to say, only to mention again, I think we play subscriptions to Together Portishead and the Rotary Business Network. Just to add them to the list.
Add them to the list, yeah. Okay. Right, would someone like to propose that we accept those subscriptions? Tim and Emma, second. All those in favour? Okay. Okay. The next item, we need to publish the schedule of town council and committee meetings for 26-27. Has anyone got any? I mean, it's a normal standard schedule. We're not planning to change anything dramatically. If we ever need an extra council meeting, we obviously call an EGM if there's a specific topic. Okay. So we just need a proposer. I mean, I'll propose it. Someone second it. David, all in favour? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we have some banking signatories. These are the current signatures for online banking as well as check signing. Still got checks. Very good. So it's Emma, Janet, David, Mike, and Roger. Right, Councillor John David. That makes more sense. Okay, so we need to agree and approve those 5 members. I'll propose that. Second it. Bob Cartwright, second did that. All in favour? All right. The next one is we have our number 17, which is our policies and procedures. And the main changes, if I can find them, are to do with the financial regulations. So the main changes, and it's important that people are aware of this, I guess this is a clarification. So for contracts estimated to exceed £60,000, the clerk shall seek formal attenders from at least 3 suppliers. Okay, so that's that's what we need to do. Then we've got for smaller items, we've got up to £100 can be approved by the customer service and admin team leader for office expenditure. The senior leadership team, the officers can delegate, can approve up to £1,000, excluding VAT. The clerk or deputy clerk is 2,000. The clerk or deputy clerk plus the chair of the council is between 2,000 and 5,000. The committee delegated powers will be up to 15,000. So currently they're 10,000. So, but they've been like that for about 6 years. So we're just going with inflation plus a little bit of headroom. And the full council will need to approve anything over £15,000. Okay, so we've just got a sort of graduated kind of sensible approval levels, so we don't have to have a committee meeting to, you know, buy some paper clips or whatever. So yeah. The checks together. I think that's really the main sort of changes. Did you want to add anything to that, John? Yeah.
Yes, I do. Item 6.9, paragraph 4 deals with funds transfers within the council's banking arrangements.
Yeah.
The limit of £10,000 is okay within the context of our existing bank accounts, but the new Insignis arrangements are not covered by this. The first two transactions involving Insignis are likely to be 300,000 and 600,000 respectively. And we don't have a formal procedure for the authorization of that.
Okay. Yeah. So
I would suggest that it's yourself, so at least 2 members of the approved check signatories should be involved.
Yeah. Yeah. For people's, why there's a large sum of money, we get paid the precept in 2 chunks twice a year. Yeah. So every 6 months, basically. So obviously,
and what we're doing is putting the first 3 months worth of precept onto 3 months notice.
Yeah.
Thereby getting interest at just under 4% instead of 0.2% with Lloyd's.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to change to, so basically that needs to be changed, doesn't it? So it needs to kind of be limitless, doesn't it? Or should we put a limit on it?
Maximum realistic sum would be 1 million.
Yeah, £1 million. And it needs to be approved by the clerk, the chair, and the chair of finance.
That's fine.
Yeah, is that okay, Steve? Yeah.
Yes, Chair, I'd suggest then that we amend paragraph little 4 there to read or in emergency situations sums up to £1 million with the approval of the chair of the council and the finance staffing and finance committee in consultation with the clerk.
Yeah, and just this is only transferring money between accounts. It's not spending money. Yeah, David. Yeah.
So can I just clarify, because Emma and I have both received a request today from Rachel to transfer 150,000 into Unity. Is that okay for us to do that? Is that within?
Well, not at the moment, but it will be once we've amended the policy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fine. All we're doing is closing down the Lloyd's accounts.
Yeah.
And moving the money to where we can A, get at it, and B, get some sensible interest on it while it's just sitting around.
Yeah. So we just now agreed that we can do that. So yes, you can now do it. So,
yeah. You can't take 10% on the
way. Mike J. Yeah.
Can I just have clarification on what you mentioned in respect to 3 tenders required over an expenditure of 6,000? If it's a smaller amount, say 5 to 10, is it still policy to have 3 tenders submitted?
No.
Or can it be less?
It's quotes. So you can actually do quotes up to 60,000.
And 2, 3? What is there a minimum?
It's 3 basically. It's
3
and the draw.
at any stage.
You need to try to get. Obviously, there are some circumstances where you cannot get 3 quotes, but you need to evidence that you've tried.
Okay.
And you've tried properly. So
it's fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, for sort of small things, 2 of the quotes, and we'll see one later. You can go online and get. It's good enough to get an online price as one of the quotes. That's. Yeah. So, yeah, it's obviously a sensible set of rules, and we just need to apply them, in according to the materiality of the expenditure. So, okay. So that is. So I've highlighted the changes of financial regulations. We've got an updated appraisal policy, which Steve has produced, and he's basically there's been a few minor edits to the performance management policy, and they've been separated out basically. Any questions on the policies, David? Yeah.
I did have 5 comments on the appraisal policy, if that's okay, Chair. I thought it would be helpful to add in the text of this that issues with performance should be addressed as soon as possible rather than awaiting the annual appraisal review, so people aren't presented with surprises at that time. I wondered whether within this we should add that the clerk's appraisal should be conducted by the council chair or the chair of staff and finance. Just be clear who does that, because otherwise all the appraisers are clear. They're the line managers of individual staff. Thirdly, in section 14, the first 2 bullets seem to be generic and come from a template, so I think they should be taken out. The date of the mid-year review should be shifted from July to September. Currently, the mid-year review is set to happen in July, which is
Okay, I mean, these are all quite detailed points. It's going to be easier if you can you email them through, because otherwise we're going to be hunting through documents. I mean, they're all useful points, but I don't think they're not overwriting the policy or anything, and they're just making it tighter. Yeah. Okay, all right. So David, you'll email those across, and we'll get those updated. So any other questions on those? So are we okay to approve the policies and procedures subject to the David's points being taken into account in the it's the performance, was it the appraisal policy? Sorry, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll basically approve the council listed policies and procedures subject to David's amendments being incorporated in the appraisal policy. Is everyone, Janet, happy with that? Janet's proposing, Martin second. All in favour?
Sure.
Okay, cool. The number 18, it's another annual thing. We're basically authorising the town clerk, in their absence, the deputy town clerk, to sign and, where appropriate, seal on behalf of the council any order deeds or documents necessary to give effect to resolutions passed by the town council in accordance with the council's standing orders. Okay. Anyone like to propose that? Bob? John to second it. All in favour?
Thank you.
Number 19, we need to reappoint our independent internal auditors who seem to do a good job, so I don't think it's an issue. John, any comments? Yeah, so would you propose that one? John propose, I'll second it. All in favour? Okay. Insurance, so we have liability insurance for all of the land, play areas, etc., that we look after. It's on a 3-year deal. This is the 3rd year of the current agreement, so we're just noting that. Obviously, the Steve and Co are looking at a new policy for next year, or they will be soon. Clearly, will be obviously a lot more to insure next year as well, or this year, in fact. Of course, Mike, yeah.
Insofar as the devolution process and the transferal of, say, play areas across to us, what happens to the insurance policies? Do they continue in the hands of North Somerset until such time that the termination of those policies, or how does that?
Okay. So as soon as the land transfers to us, we will be taking over the insurance of it. And that will be done through our existing policy, and obviously the premium will go up.
Yeah.
So we will get advance notice. The land is going to transfer on this date. We will inform the insurance policy and say, this is what we're getting. It's a new play area. And they'll say the premium's now gone up. Basically.
So we can be expecting quite a large increase.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. Okay. Approval of regular payments by direct debit and standing order. So we've got a load of those. So we've got a schedule. I think that all looks fine. Any comments? No. David.
Just a question. Does anyone know what the Secure Parking and Storage Alliance £63 a month is?
So secure parking. Which garage is it? The
Storage garage, Bristol Road.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we store some stuff there. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we just need to approve the regular payments to be made. Anyone like to propose that one? John and Bob second it. All in favour? Okay. Right. I can shut up for a minute. A public participation. Anyone in the public gallery?
What's happening about Brackenwood?
At the moment, not very much. It's we're just basically doing the tree maintenance and so forth, and it's cleared the path.
Having fallen down in there, you'll remember that we were going to do some wonderful things there. That
we haven't got to it yet, Bob. Basically,
okay.
but yeah, we're just keeping it safe at the moment. The minutes of the last meeting. Any comments on those? I'll sign them. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think we touched on this earlier. We've closed the, we need to approve the closure of the Lloyds bank accounts and transfer the funds to the Insignis cash platform. I think John explained earlier why we're doing that. So the recommendations are to approve closure of the two bank accounts held with Lloyds, to authorise Rachel, the responsible financial officer, to coordinate the closure with the current Lloyds signatories, and to authorise the RFO and Clark to deposit the funds with the Insignis cash platform. And for those who weren't here, the Insignis just enables you to move the money around pretty seamlessly. So it's like a portal. You get a list of all of the providers that are providing savings accounts or whatever, and you can say, I'll put that on immediate deposit. I'll put that on 95 days, 3 months, a month, and then it gives you a reminder. So in a month's time, it'll say what you want to do with it, basically. And then, so the advantage is, as we know, rates change all the time. So it means it just takes all the legwork out of trying to look for the best account. Also, it means we don't have to have a constant changeover of signatories and stuff, because we've just got signatories for the Insignis portal, and then Rachel will then move the money around. So yeah, it's I know it's, I think Rachel looked into it. I Seven Oaks Council use it. There's another parish council, and actually I had a call from a clerk from another council today asking if it was any good. So I think it was rang you, Pete. I think yeah. Thanks for that. So yeah.
I would add also that there are approximately 30 different banks involved with Insignis, so we can switch between those as we wish. Insignis keep a record of the credit ratings of each bank, and at the moment we are only choosing banks with a credit rating of A or better, which represents about a quarter of the total. Okay. So the risk is actually minimal.
Yeah, it's probably lower than actually just being in one bank, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it's also very portable.
And by the way, the money is in our name, not in Insignis's.
Yeah. So it's very sensible. I mean, we pay a small fee for obviously using the platform, but given that we're going to make much more money on always having a pretty close to the best interest rates, it more than pays the administration fee. So it's effective there. That's their service fee for taking a lot of work away from Rachel, really. But okay. So we need to can I have a proposer, John? Do you want to propose? I'll second that one. All in favour?
Sure.
All right. Okay, so moving around, as you know, Keith does a grand job in watering the plants around the town for Portishead in Bloom and all the flower beds. So we need to renew his contract. So the value is £12,006.85. That's for the standard set, and the paper you got, it tells you which planters and so forth that he waters, and if we ever ask him to do an extra one or an extra visit, it's £172.50. Okay, so Bob.
Yeah, just a question. Obviously, with the hanging baskets and boxes, I have a little bit of concern, obviously, as the year will carry on, that maintenance will be required, especially on the umbrellas, because obviously they get scratched. Sadly, people put necktie, plastic ties around them, and obviously they get rubbed, and then they look pretty tatty, and they do need repainting at some point. I'm just wondering when the next lot will be due.
I don't know offhand, but perhaps we can make a note. We can ask Lucy, and she's dealing with that. So, yeah, thanks. Okay, so recommendation is to approve the award of the contract to a total value of £12,006.85p, and additional watering visits at £172.50 per visit. Do I have a proposal? John, second, Alan, all in favour? And
Thank you.
thanks to Keith for doing a grand job. Thank you. So David, this is your item, I think. So we've got the council's emergency response plan. I think this is just really to reapprove it and make sure it's up to date. Is there anything you wanted to highlight?
No, I just wanted to make sure it's on the annual agenda, really, because we only approved it about 3 to 4 months ago.
Yeah.
But I think every year going forwards, we need to make sure the telephone numbers and personal officer updates the websites and so forth.
Yeah. Okay. So we're happy to approve. I'm happy to propose that. Alan, second it. All in favour? Okay, so that's reapproved. Item number 27, office hours. So it's to consider extending the opening hours of the folk hall. Obviously, the reason for us being here is to serve our residents, and so we need to be open and accessible as much as possible, even more so given the additional responsibilities we are taking on from North Somerset as part of local devolution. So the recommendation is to extend the folk hall opening hours to be 9 to 5 Monday to Thursday and 9 to 4:30 on Friday. This is also in line with comparable size councils, and so, for example, Frome and Weston-super-Mare, and those are their opening hours as well. So that's the proposal. Bob, do you want?
Yeah, I was just going to say, can we make sure that's put out on social media? Because I think even myself struggle sometimes to obviously get into the office after certain hours.
Yeah. We'll put that on the communications.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sure Amy will be listening to this at some. So can you do that, Amy? Thank you. Mike, yeah.
Could I recommend that we have some form of digital welcoming sign in the foyer here, just to point people really to go upstairs? And also it could be used for the meetings that we have in the evenings, just to indicate to members attending meetings that it's the Eve Wigan room or wherever, a Fedden room, that the meeting might be being held in. There used to be one here, but it would be quite nice to have another one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we have already made a request to Steve. I don't know whether it's come as far as you, Mike, to have a look at, just trying to make the whole. No, okay, not as elaborate as that. Okay, maybe add it to the list, and I think probably just let's get a quote for all, and then we'll have a look at it in totality. Sure, that's all right. Thanks. Okay. All right. So who'd like to propose that one? Bob Cartwright, Alan second. All in favour? Okay, thank you. Right. So number 28 is the digital system for managing events and filming applications. So this is one of the responsibilities we're going to be taking over from North Somerset. They do get quite regular requests for filming, especially down the lake grounds. And they do actually get paid by the film companies for doing that sort of stuff. And also we would obviously be hoping to run more events as well as the events that already happen. Event management there is a process associated with it. There's health and safety and all the rules and all that. So there's a reasonable amount of complexity. So Steve, our clerk, has been discussing that with the North Somerset team, and they use another piece of technology portal, which includes basically a database of all of the events people, the filmmakers who like to use these things. So it's a sort of two-way thing. It enables us to see who might want to use our facilities, and it also enables them to see what facilities are available in the town. So clearly it's a kind of nice way of putting the town on the map when we actually might make a bit of money out of it at the same time. So Steve has looked into this quite a bit, Steve Harris that is, and he basically recommended that we get this because it's just going to take a lot of the legwork out and also give us a shot window to the basically people who might want to use the lake grounds or other parks or whatever, to showcase whatever they're doing. So that, and he got a couple of quotes, and one of them was by far the cheapest at £1,250 per annum. I think he estimates it's going to, well, either it could easily bring in more revenue than that, and it's going to save a lot of work. So it's going to pay for itself very quickly. So that's what that is. Any questions on that? No? Okay. The recommendation is that the town clerk is authorised to appoint supplier A for the provision of the digital system. He has looked into it. It's probably going to take 2 or 3 weeks to set it up. But it's obviously something we can do in lieu of the lander coming across. Anyone like to propose that one? Bob Cartwright. He's on a roll this in Mike Reese the second here. All in favour? Yeah. It's good of you to raise your arm without appointing it, Mike. That's okay. So number 29 is so this is an allocation of community infrastructure levies. I think hopefully everyone probably knows that community infrastructure levy is the money that is levied on any new development, whether it even be an extension, but on housing development. It's all calculated on square footage of the size of the house, the development, and so forth. And because we have a neighbourhood plan, we get 25% of the allocation. If we don't have a neighbourhood plan, the town council only gets 10%. Again, these monies, I think we receive them every 6 months, I think, John? Yeah, every 6 months.
We receive them every 6 months. We don't know what drives each payment.
No. It's got a little bit of interference on the microphone. Yeah. Sorry, I just turned my mic on and off. It seems to have gone away. Of course, it comes with a lot of rules, and you need to spend the money in a certain time period. So we've had a look at and I suppose if you look at it, it's just another pot of money that's part of our budget. So the sensible thing is to allocate the money, the SIL money, and then that means that money, the same amount of money is now available for another project, which will come out of general reserves. It also gets us out of more bureaucratic process with North Somerset, which is always, in my mind, a good thing to do. So basically the proposal is, so we have £71,000 of SIL money, and the proposal is to allocate it to the Halls refurbishment project, which is a perfectly legitimate designated use, because we basically improve the community infrastructure used by lots of people in the town. And secondly, there was £10,000 earmarked for Slade Road, Plainfield, but given that North Somerset is sitting on that land at the moment, we're basically going to release that out as well at the same time. Any questions on that one? No? Would you like to propose that one, John? I'll second it. And all in favour? All right, thank you. So Rachel will do that. Okay. Number 30, event kit for community events. Again, as we've said several times, we need to be out there and talking to residents. We haven't got a gazebo. The rest of the kit we've got at the moment is kind of falling apart.
Oh, mine 7 times.
Yeah, and it's yeah, we kind of run out of sticky tape. I think, John, it might be yours. Am I? Yeah, okay. No, don't know. Anyway, so Nikki has got, she's had found 3 different quotes. The recommendation is to go with a local supplier. It's slightly more expensive than the online ones, but not by any great significant means, and also we'll get a good service from them, and it's local business. So the recommendation is to go with the local supplier. So recommendation to approve the budget and the selected supplier, enabling the artwork to be finalised and the event kit to be ordered. First planned outdoor use will be at the Carnival on the 13th of June. Any comments? No. Bob?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, obviously, if it's an event kit and it will be a gazebo and probably a couple of flags will go along with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, suitable chairs and folding tables obviously would come into account. I think several times we've ended up bringing up our own folding table and folding chairs, and I think that's a point that we need to make sure that we have everything, rather than we have a tent but we end up borrowing stuff to bring
Yeah,
down.
it definitely includes a tablecloth, which is another thing. But Mike, yeah.
I was just going to say the enabling artwork, which is mentioned here, is the town logo.
Yes.
Council logo.
Correct. Yeah, it definitely includes a tablecloth. We'll look at the tables and stuff later, I think. But yeah, Peter, yeah. You're too generous. We'll take you up on that offer. So. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and for someone like to recommend, John? Yeah. Martin, second. All in favour? Okay. Thanks. Right. We're moving on to on a furniture theme here now. So, obviously we've got some new staff. Mike's done some work. Mike McDonald has done some work on the furniture and also the equipment, and some of the equipment is end of life as well, and not compliant with display screen, the health and safety legislation. So you've put together a bundle of requirements and new chairs, because the chairs again are end of life and not compliant as well. So in total, well, you've had different quotes, haven't you, Mike? And I think that the cheapest one was about 7K plus VAT, but I think you're asking for 10,500 excluding VAT, because there's some unknowns in there, if I've understood it correctly. Is that right?
Particularly at the moment with the shipping costs going up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mike's just saying the shipping costs are hard to but nail down until you actually place the order. Okay. So so basically we're looking to approve up to a maximum value of 10,500 excluding VAT for the bundle of IT equipment and ancillary equipment, including chairs and other stuff, workstation stuff. Emma, yeah.
Sorry, should we allocate any more funds for the previous mentioned, if we need tables and chairs for the event?
I think we should probably look at that, whether what we've got and whether we could probably sort that out separately, I think. But yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll have a look at it. So yeah. So I tell you what, yeah, Mike will look at it as part of this, and then we'll see whether we'll place the order this time or next time or whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do that. Okay. So do I have a proposer for this one? Janet, seconded by Jenny. Sorry, I must look right. Now, Okay. So do we vote on that? I think, yeah, all in favour, sorry. Yeah. Just making sure we're still awake over there. Yeah. So the next item number 32, Redcliffe Place Snooker Hall. Unfortunately, there was some asbestos damage in there. So we've got to replace the current ceiling. Mike McDonald has got some quotes, and basically the proposal is to award a contract to quote 4 to a maximum value of £10,000 to allow for any contingencies whilst carrying out the work. Mike, do you want to just add to it?
If I can just add an update, I did actually have a 5th quote arrive today.
Okay.
Their email system had failed for the past couple of weeks, so they haven't been able to forward it. So there is a 5th quote to consider. It's not the lowest, but it is now the 2nd lowest, and that is for a total of £7,205 excluding VAT. And their completion is the end of June. Obviously, early completion is a critical part of this to get the snooker club back in and earning money again as quickly as possible.
So what's your recommendation, Mike? Would you?
I would. The 2 lowest bidders, all of the companies are local. They're all of suitable quality. I've not worked with the quote 4 before. I have worked with quote 5, but I'd be happy to work with either of those. So I'd probably still stick with quote 4 as the cheapest quote.
Okay, all right. Bob, and then Mike.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Redcliffe Bay, but I think there wasn't there a mention about soundproofing. Is that incorporated in the repair?
No.
This is just the snooker hall. It's nothing to do with the main hall itself.
Okay.
We may find a situation, it's something we need to consider from a risk perspective, that the same issue is going to affect the main hall at some stage in the future.
Okay, thanks for
that. Mike, Jane? Yeah.
Mike, do I assume that the ceiling plasterboard has to be fireproof in view of its position underneath the main hall?
It will need to meet the required standards, but that's down to the installer to ensure.
Okay. Any other points? No. So recommendation, contract is awarded to remove and replace the snooker hall ceiling. Sorry, did I tell myself?
Yeah. You might like to know that we set aside £15,000 for this in the March accounts.
Oh, okay, thanks, John. Yeah, okay. All right. So basically, recommendation, the contract is awarded to remove and replace the snooker hall ceiling under quote 4 to a maximum value of £10,000. I think we should just take out the quote 4 and just replace the snooker hall ceiling to a maximum value of £10,000, and then that'll enable you to, if you need to decide between 4 and 5, for whatever reason you can. So I'll just read out again. The contract is awarded to remove and replace the snooker hall ceiling to a maximum value of £10,000, excluding VAT. So propose for that one, David. Emma second. All in favour? Okay. So trampoline repairs. Yes, I've really missed a trampoline down the lake grounds. So I'm sure I've seen you down there as well, Janet. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I also saw something on Facebook today by someone who's really disappointed that it's broken at the moment because it's her daughter's favourite thing.
Okay, right. So we need to repair it. Bob?
Yeah, obviously this is not the first time the trampoline's actually broken, and I'm just wondering, is it worth looking into a longer lasting, bit more stronger one?
Honestly, I don't know. I think, well, it's by nature. It's used a lot, isn't it? So I think it's. Oh, we'll make a note of it. Yeah, I'm not an expert on trampolines. Not yet. No, just a user. No. Yeah, we'll make a note, Steve, if we can, just to make sure that if there is a market leader in terms of robustness, Bob's point is valid, because obviously the lake grounds is the busiest area, isn't it? So yeah.
Obviously, it's one of the most popular pieces of equipment. So yeah, I think we need to, if there's a chance that we can find something a bit more robust, it might be worth looking into.
Yeah. Mike. Yeah.
If I can, my understanding is it's not the trampoline which is broken, it's the safety tiles around the outside, so that the rubber tiling around the outside, which
becomes peeled off, it gets damaged, and there are a limited number of suppliers for that. So it's not the trampoline that's broken itself.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, Jenna. Yeah.
By the way, I'm not the reason the trampoline is. Excuse me.
Okay. All right. We better move on quickly. Right. So the date of the next town council meeting. Sorry, vote on the 3,500. Sorry. Yeah. All in favour. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. The day of the next meeting is Wednesday, the 17th of June at 8 o'clock. It's at 8 o'clock because there is a staff and finance meeting to start at 7:30 that day. So those at 7 o'clock that day. So those of you who, missed staff and finance, if you want to come along earlier, you're welcome. So, yeah. Emma, did you put your hand up? No. Okay. Bob, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, just to return to Bob's concern about Breckenwood, is there any chance we could actually put that on the next agenda for discussion?
Yeah, well, I'll talk to Roger when he comes back and see what's going on. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay. Right. Anything else from the public? Anything else? No. Well, thank you for coming. We need to throw you out now. Apologies, but yeah, have a good evening, people. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
It's just nice to see you all as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike, for taking my box of things.
Collect some on the way out. There are 3 different trails, so that's why they're 3 different colours.
The two of you who were down at North Somerset last night, I understand because I was watching online that you approved the WECA involvement. No, I know. I noticed that you didn't. But what was the situation with the Tropicana? Because I missed that bit.
Stage approved with an assurance from the leader that no money will be spent.
All right.
So my concern is they pull off the redevelopment on Hatton, if they want 6 million of our money, totally different view.
Right.
Okay.
That's how it ended.
Thanks, Peter. Okay. So right. We're digressing. So I'm just going to read out the notice. Exclusion of the public and press under the Public Bodies Act 1960. Members of the public and press are required to leave the building at item 35 due to the sensitive and confidential nature of the matter. We need to agree to exclude the public and press. I will propose that. Someone second it. Bob Cartwright. All in favour? Thank you. All right. And